douglAR politics, we're ready to go. 5 minutes. 4 minutes and 59 seconds. douglAR politics, share it. Get ready. I'm not sure if I could get through all of this information in an hour and a half. douglAR politics starts in 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
Politics. This is douglAR politics, yo. douglAR politics. Listen, douglAR politics, yeah. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics, yeah. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics, yo. douglAR politics.
Good evening and welcome to douglAR Politics. As the PNM implodes, they blaming PNM for PNM failure. Imagine the sport company of the PNM, Douglas Camacho, the PNM, the man whose main sport all his life he spent in hockey. He's the former chairman of the Trinidad and Tobago Hockey Board and all of that, the chairman of the sport company, going on 7 years now. No hockey turf for hockey. And they blaming now. Hear what the PNM sport companies say. Forex frustration. Turf project still on hold. Even as the TTO men's hockey team head coach Darren Cowie was in Chile appealing to the Trinidad and Tobago Hockey Board and other local governmental organizations to assist in getting the game back on track. The sports company of Trinidad and Tobago CEO Jason Williams advised yesterday that the unavailability of foreign exchange is still holding up the completion of the water-based AstroTurf at National Hockey Center in Tacarigua. But the PNM don't like Gary Griffith. But Gary Griffith as Commissioner of Police take a grass field and turn it into AstroTurf, the only place that the hockey players could play now down by the barracks. But the PNM, they would all your money, spend $500 billion, and all you can't even get a AstroTurf. Far less for 10, because they should have AstroTurf all across the country. Now, staying with sport, St. Mary's College, let me tell you something. The behavior of your parents and your supporters at a football match. Now they have many stories, so I will ask the question, I will tell you the stories. Fatima done win the championship, we go down in St. Mary's Day. St. Mary's at the bottom of the table. We throw away about 16 goals. We end up winning 1-0, no big thing, inconsequential match. So they have two stories. I hear there is a Mr. Phillips, he say he didn't hit the goalkeeper and so on. And then somebody else tell me that our goalkeeper, Mr. Edwards, now you all must understand, out of 15 matches, I have seen Fatima play 11. I didn't see you in Scarborough when they play Scarborough in Tobago. I didn't go there. I missed Chaguanas North. I missed the CIC game. And I missed Malik. Those are the only games I missed. So I have seen 11 of Fatima games. And my goalkeeper, Fatima goalkeeper, the national goalkeeper, Mr. Edwards, has been exemplary in his behavior and how he conducted himself. Not only is he the #1 goalkeeper in the league, but so I will give you the story as it comes from the CIC. I wouldn't give you the others. I asked about 10 people, but let me give you what the parent told somebody. The parent who is accused of having hit our Fatima goalkeeper, but he said he didn't hit him. The story that the CIC parent gave is that our goalkeeper, Fatima, for whatever reason that I don't know, he was giving the parents of St. Mary's talk and being very rude and obnoxious. And therefore this St. Mary's parent, a parent of a St. Mary's player, went up to the goalkeeper, our goalkeeper, a student, a child, after the game to tell him about his behavior. Well, boss, and then melee took place. Let me tell you something, Mr. Parent. I'm going with your story, you know. I'm not going with the story where they say you hit the goalkeeper and all that and that's the melee. The police will investigate that. But I'm going with your story. Based on your story, you are fast and out of place. It is not your position to go and talk to a player directly. If you find that that the behavior of any player on the field was untoward, you can go to the management of the Fatima team, the coach, the principal, or any teacher. You can write a letter and complain to the principal and so on, enunciating your position. You do not take it upon yourself to approach a child, a goalkeeper, a man, a boy playing for his school, and you are a big adult to go and discuss with that. So even on your story, you're wrong. And I heard other stories that you assaulted the goalkeeper, you cussed the boy, you went up. I don't know. I wasn't there. I missed that match. Right? Look at the footage. Okay? You somewhere in there, Mr. Phillips. So the police will investigate, and whatever them say, I will come down and deal with that position. But even with your story, sir, you are fast and out of place. And I can tell you that our goalkeeper, Mr. Edwards, the national goalkeeper, I saw him play 11 games under pressure down in Naparima, where Naparima was playing football all over us. Naparima come to B3, and he held himself like a true gentleman, a professional, never misbehaving at all. So in a game that's inconsequential, you want me to believe that a young man who played 11 games, that I watch him every minute, and did nothing that could be considered lack of control, angry, obnoxious. Absolutely not once in 11 games that I see with my eyes. You telling me, Mr. CIC man, that in a game that don't matter if we lost, we could have played all we substitutes, we play a 50% team, that all of a sudden his behavior became so atrocious that it required you as a parent going to talk to a student. You are fast and out of place, man. What sort of behavior is that? And that is in Mary's College? Far less for if the other side, the other story that I got from 6 other people turns out to be true, because then the police will have to come and knock on your door, right? So we wait to see the outcome of that. And as we're talking about disrespect, Naparima College, I am reading in Wired 868 that you all fired Travis Mulrain and Anthony Sherwood, the coaches of Naparima, mid-season in schoolboy football. Really? Well, you all is some professional team, all is Manchester United, all is Chelsea, all is Manchester City, all is Barcelona, all is Real Madrid. What abject total nonsense. Let's go on this now. You in the middle of a season, you have intercall coming. Naparima just played the best game. I stand up in the south, and Naparima team came at my Fatima with everything they had, heart and soul, even though they had no chance to win a trophy. They had no chance to do anything. But they came there with pride, passion, respect for the college, respect for the Southland, and them boys played a game that had us, the better team, under total pressure. You dominated me for 88 minutes, and due to effort and cramping up, and you only get tired at the end. My Fatima players, the best team, the national champions, had to scramble to beat Naparima. And the reward from the administration of Naparima College is to fire the coaches that produced that result, that sort of character, that heart and soul, that respect from a team that is under-talented. You're not talented like my bench more talented than you. But your Naparima boys came out with great passion and energy, respect for their school, for the song, and came and played with passion. And you in Naparima fire the 2 coaches. All you need to go in St. Anne's and get a checkup. Number 2, this is schoolboy football. What sort of message are you sending to the students that mid-job, that just like that their respect, their love, their connection with the coach is irrelevant in the middle of a season? You just take away their administration, the fellas who were getting them together, gelling, and produce their best result. What message are you teaching them? That you, when under pressure, if you don't get exactly what you want, you get discarded like that without respect? It's schoolboy football. If you want to fire men and you want to play big Sawati, that happens at the end of the season. Now Naparima, them boys, after playing brilliantly, you're going to start them over with a new coach before the intercall, and you think that is a life lesson to teach them? And how could you disrespect your coaches who had done such a job, bringing you from wherever you all were and fighting and producing a great result? Everything about that is wrong. On top of that, there's 2 national former national footballers. Anthony Sherwood is one of the most gifted, intelligent, brilliant people and great human being. When he play we down in 87, down in Skinner Park without it rolling, that man outplay we whole side. Yes, we scramble a 1-0 victory, but only God bless we on that day. Anthony Sherwood played national football under 19. When we gone down to Mahaika Oval, the crowd down there telling Hannibal Najjar, hey boy, because Sherwood had a little ponytail, little aquai kind of half Chinese. They say, oh, only picking white boy. After the first 3 touch, Sherwood get the ball in the 5-minute crowd ball, give the white boy the ball. Anthony Sherwood has been coaching and producing. One of the boys that gone to sign contract professional at PSV Eindhoven is Anthony Sherwood. Anthony Sherwood was the sport athletic director at a USA university. And you come and fire him, national player Travis Mulrain and Anthony Sherwood for what? So Naparima, I need some explanation, please, because whoever in charge, whether it's the principal, the board, the Old Boys Association, all you're clueless. The fool wants multi-million-dollar deal for TTPFL. Yes, the Eagles football and the professional football league going. And in February, the Minister of Sport said the government committed to $9 million over a 3-year period. 3 into 9 equal 3. PNM puts $3 million into professional football. Kamla Prasad Bisesa puts 12 per year. Plus 5 to the administration, 17, plus 4 million to the Super League. This lady, football, Shamfa, with all the weave and the inside, outside, and had a meeting down in Mason Hall with 88 people on Facebook. This lady, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, is what Mr. from Eagles, this is what you're calling, he said, I would like to see the TTPFL get about 10 million for the league. Well, my brother, vote Kamla, because Kamla was giving support to the professional league 12 million per year. Why? Because it is more than just sport. It's an industry. It's employing about 3,860 young fellas and people in that sport. It is creating opportunities for children who are not academically brilliant to take care of their families and so on, utilizing their skill, identifying their skill. It's also presenting the national team with a base of fitness, good players, ability, great coaching, all of that. But this lady here who in charge of sport, who only started to have fancy handbag and Gucci belt and so on since she's a minister, does nothing for sport. She put 3 million. So my brother, you want to know for the league to be called XY League, and that will trickle down to the clubs who will get investors who will invest upwards of 200,000. I would think the league could take the first leap. From the time that happens, the whole landscape changes. Because businesses say if XYZ could invest, then I could invest as well. Well, what you need to say, sir, is bring back Kamla, because Kamla invested your taxpayers' money in the football for the young people. And when Kamla invests and shows the love and respect for football, then come in other sponsors like First Citizens and Republic and Blue Waters and whoever came in, because the government showed a commitment. But the PNM wean all off your football. And let me just say, as a douglAR, it are very few Indian playing football. Last big Indian skillful man was Bobby Sukram and then Danulal. I see 1 or 2. They have one Rampasad playing with the national team now from Canada. All right, it have a few Indian, but it's 90% African. But the lady that all they like to play race card with, you see, there are no race card, because this Indian lady pumping more money in the African football, as all you say, $12 million, 9 million more per year. So, you love football, you love Pro League, you love Super League, you love even College League, because in College League, all the stadia used to be playing for free. PNM used to be charging schools $5,000 to use your own stadium. Not this lady. So you see, take out the race and vote. You like football? Vote Kamla. Very simple. Veteran Taekwondo Grandmaster Jim Youngjung laid to rest. This man, a master a genius in every sense of the word. Live his life with the utmost discipline. Nearly a saint on earth, close to perfection. I met him since 1991, went to 1993 CAC Games with him, Pan American Games, Commonwealth Games. He produced Cheryl Ann Sanka, National Sportswoman of the Year, nominated about 7 times. I think she won it 2 or 3 times. The #1 Taekwondo woman in the Pan American region, qualifying for the Olympics. This gentleman produced, out of 48 years, 40 black belts. Now understand that. Only 40. There are people just hand out black belt like it's dinner mint in parlor. This gentleman is such a perfectionist that you had to be absolutely in every sense of the word, from character, development, intelligence, wherewithal, charity, taking care of others, teaching others, skills, perfection to the T. This man believed in merit, and all his students were there at St. Finbar's Church to tell him goodbye. That's the legacy of a great coach, of a master. May he rest in peace. Also, we're saying goodbye to a golden generation, Trevor Smith. This man, the greatest badminton coach in the history of the Caribbean, in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. The man who brought Dr. Deborah O'Connor to the fore. A woman who won Sportswoman of the Year must be 5-6 times. Nominated 10-12 times. Qualified for badminton in the Olympics. This was her coach. He just recently passed away. We are losing a lot of knowledge. When I was Minister of Sport, we had Valentino Singh creating a national sporting archives to make sure that our children and future generations could learn and know about all those who went before. You know, the PNM come and cut that. So it had no national archives, and now we losing all of this brain, all of this intelligence is gone. This man produced world-class athletes in right in what they used to call West India Club and all kind of thing. Badminton. Trevor Smith, may he rest in peace. But this, I don't like the Halloween and things so much. My daughter is so interested that she do a little trick-or-treated. But this costume, oh Lord, is the greatest. Trinidad and Tobago, 2 doubles, two doubles with sliced pepper and apple J. I must say to the parents and the children, this is the greatest. But Rowley, I like this, because nothing special about doubles, except that all of we love it, and it is of we, right? No ham, no macaroni pie, no movie tongue. PNM say cooking cold pot and ride bike. Watch what PNM telling you. Think time so hard. Check the PNM advertising paying and telling you what to eat. Archie, let me put on my glasses, yes? Here are some dinner options that are both delicious and nutritious, says the PNM, while them eating shrimps and drinking scotch and flying all over, and Rowley per diem reached 2 million and counting, and he only going with small pin flying all, he going Dubai, he playing on the golf course, while them going by the Hyatt and for a little conference to tell we the CARICOM that crime is a public health issue. $11 million, $3.4 million for a 2-day conference and so on. Hear what the PNM telling you to eat. Healthy. Hops and tuna salad with cabbage and tomatoes. Very good. Cheese paste sandwich with lettuce. Healthy. Cheese paste sandwich. Now the grocery and them cutting up cheese. It used to get a block, so they cutting that in 3, because people can't afford it. Roast bacon, saltfish, bulgjol, sauteed with shredded cabbage and carrots. Thanks, PNM. Thanks. All you eat steak, sushi, you drink your scotch on the taxpayer money and tell people eat cabbage. Yes, great to see PNM. Move that number. Cancer patient struggles to raise funds for critical scans. Mother of 4, Elora Erica Grant, fell ill on Wednesday and had to be rushed to the hospital after experiencing breathing problems. Grant, who suffers from thyroid cancer, is still in need of over $17,000 to do a radioactive iodine scan and treatment. politics, his race, under Kamla Fuad Khan, under Tim Gopi Singh, under whoever comes to be the Minister of Health, whether Lakram Bodo, Rai Ragbir, Dr. Rishi Sicharan, citizens will get their scans. Imagine you have thyroid cancer, and in a country where the budget is $59 billion on paper and $71 billion, including what your children have to pay back because Imbot and them are taking your money and doing with it as they please. With this clung as a Minister of Health, people have to raise money to get a scan. You understand what I say? Woman diagnosed with cancer, she had to go and stress out. This is not available. These clowns left the children hospital closed with all the equipment that bought with your taxpayers' money for your children to get health services. Them leave it closed and forced to open it during COVID. That's okay. That's what they say. Wean yourself off the government. Not so? A girl 5 critical after being locked in a hot car. Now, I really don't know what to say. If all you don't know what to do with children, utilize and purchase some prophylactics or go by family planning and get them. Because if it makes sense to you that in a heat wave where they're telling you try to stay indoors, turn on AC, air condition sales going up, that you so dotish, you lock a child in a hot car, then something wrong with you. A 5-year-old girl is in critical condition at hospital suffering from the effects of severe dehydration after being left in a locked vehicle for 2 hours on Sunday. A female relative was expected to be questioned by the police. Meanwhile, a doctor is warning against leaving. A doctor needs to warn all you to not leave a child in a hot car with the window wind up. A doctor needs to tell you that. You're not even supposed to leave dog in car. I don't know what to say about my people. From one set of dotishness to the next one. Rohan Sinanan say buses being properly maintained. Rohan, really? look the bus.
Yeah, nice
look the PTSD being properly maintained. What is that? They ain't putting gas in the bus. Far less for how the roof, when it rains, people get it raining inside the bus. Bus breaking down. 3 buses so far we see burning up on the highway. The drivers saying the tires that they have smooth. They cannot get brakes fluid. They're not getting maintenance. The buses in a terrible state of disrepair. Rohan come and say, the buses and them good man maintained. They don't even have gas. I no shame now. And watch, from one set of incompetence. PNM one thing with them. This show could go long because every aspect of life, PNM shows incompetence. Watch Samaru Village, Dabadi Omira. I don't even know what the PNM woman, the MP is, the one who has used more green verb than green lettuce. I've showed the video there. Samaru Village, what's going on with the bridge? Oh, yeah, that, yeah, you do that one, okay. Well, you go find it, but they have Neil the Silver too, but just now, no water for 3 months. Residents preparing for Diwali with burnt tires. While many Hindus ready themselves for Diwali, residents of Tenant Trace Woodland fear it may be a dismal celebration as a lack of water for the past 3 months hampers preparation. Lack of water for the last 3 months, and the minister, a man, talking all kind of nonsense. With the Festival of Lights in a week, angry residents dumped discarded tires doused with gas on the roadway and set them ablaze in protest yesterday. Imagine people are preparing for Diwali, where they're supposed to feel festive, positive, community sharing. And the PNM frustrate people so much because obviously they need water for the preparations, especially during the holy period of Diwali, and forcing people to get angry and vent their frustration. Imagine that, think about that now. And then all across the country, now the PNM vindictive, Valencia vote UNC, Neil De Silva is the councillor, no water. Let we hear the councillor, talk to them, Neil De Silva.
Good night. My name is Neely Silva, the Councillor for Valencia West. For the past 6 weeks, we have no water in Valencia due to the pumps of that Hollis Reservoir, which is not too far from here. And we are trying to find out why WASA is not telling the people in Valencia what is the problem with the water. If you go to Mount Carmel, you go to Mora Trace, even fast extension to the Pilot Farm, and even going to Smithland has no water. KP Land just started to get a little bit of water. So right now, we want WASA to send some truck-bound waters with the number that they've sent to me. When people do call the number, they're not getting on to nobody at that point in time. So please, WASA, let us know what is the real problem in Valencia with the water.
You understand? What is the real problem? And they also have, I feel you have Andy for Grandy, Pitbull, Andy from the Ground Report also talking about a different issue in Valencia. Actually, you had that one, I'd send that one kind of late. With an early childhood center in Valencia that was built by Tim Gopi Singh, but the PNM is so wicked even to little children. Look what they're doing to the little children in Valencia. Show them.
Right now, I'm at the Valencia Early Childhood Center. Nice, well, you seen it. Right, so let me walk quick. Right, this is the bush, well, you seen it? Watch the bush, watch out this thing. Millions of dollars spent, watch all up there. Millions of dollars spent, right? Right, we want to go to it fast. This is the entrance, right? The car park, watch it. Bush, watch it. This is supposed to be the car park, so I can't hold in a tour. Come quick. All right, they leave it hang up. People start to interfere, teeth out. You see all kind of electrical and lights and all them things disappear. All right, watch it. Millions of dollars we spend. Now let me get already inside, right? Watch it, right? Let me come from the entrance to the inside. Watch it, right? Watch it. The entrance. Let me come in, and they're leaving it since 8 years ago. Doors missing. Those things, all plenty lighting fixtures and things. Go and watch. All we see in hole is always lighting fixtures. Right? They just leave it abandoned. They leave it abandoned. No guard, nobody. What you expect? Not for people to demolish the place, thief out wherever to be thief out.
It's PNM for y'all. And even after it's been vandalized and so on, you could still see the quality, the beauty of the work done by Tim Gopi Singh and the UNC government. Even after 8 years of the neglect, you could see, you could put children there and see how they could be interacting and the teachers' happiness and getting education and becoming inspired and so on. But that is PNM, and there are over 30 early childhood centers across Trinidad that have been left like that because of PNM wickedness and vindictiveness. As we talking about that, Rudy Indasing tells TNTech and tells the people to reject the new electricity rates. But there also is a new issue. TNTech, why are you overcharging people after you give people a bill? 5 different people from Lange Park and other areas have showed me that they were paying a certain amount, 1,500 roughly every 2 months and so on. And TNTech, you bill them that and they pay the bill. And then all of a sudden you come and say, oops, we undercharge you, and you're owing 9,000 or 6,000, and then you threatening to cut people. That is extortion. TNTech, please explain that, because I'm investigating it, and I will come out, because I will hit that Marvin Gonzalez again, because you have too much time to be playing bathroom sports. You understand? And we go deal with him, because it had to be madness. And then the PNM come in to tell you, Rowley say they're going to put the real cost of your bill. Let me read what Keith Christopher Rowley. Now remember, the PNM owe TNTech $1.2 billion from the ministries. So just like Petrotrin, the government called Mimbert and Rowley and pay the bill. Then come to say that the TNTech suffering because they're running at a deficit, because the PNM didn't pay the bill, but you have to come and pay higher rates. And Rowley telling you now, let's put the real cost of electricity, because he say wean you of your own resources. Remember, Rowley feel the gas, the oil, your tax money is he own, right? That he personal bank account. That's what Rowley truly believes. Now listen to this why. While some people can shout loudly and refused to pay the new rates, Dr. Rowley said that it was not an option for them. But of course, at the end of the day, the commission would have done its work and made recommendations to the government. That is a lie. The RIC was instructed by the government what to do, and now they're playing games with y'all, right? Cabinet, Rowley continued, would look at the RIC's recommendation. Yeah, we must be the most dotage population in the world. Rowley and them instruct the RIC what to do. We went in the consultations. The RIC regurgitating exactly what Rowley and them said. Now that the RIC agree with what Rowley and them tell them to do, the Rowley and them saying that they're going to now reconsider or consider the RIC recommendations as if they were really independent and came with some recommendation that they were not instructed so to do. And all you just buy that from this bag of liars. It's unbelievable. Cabinet, Rowley continued, would look at the RIC's recommendations and determine which recommendations were acceptable and the level of which they would be implemented. He said electricity in Trinidad and Tobago is still among the cheapest and is still a cheap product to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Rowley, you fast and out of place. Cheap product, cheaper than where? Than Barbados, Antigua, Grenada, who have no oil and gas, whose economies are based on tourism. The people of Trinidad, I just want to remind you all, because you all may have forgotten. You are born here. You have a birth paper here. You have a passport here. You live in here. You paying taxes here. Your children here. The oil and gas that is within the region of Trinidad and Tobago and the sea that belongs to Trinidad and Tobago, the red, white, and black, belongs to you. It's yours. Each and every one of y'all own a little piece of it. Rowley come to tell y'all that oil and gas had nothing to do with y'all. He is the government. He is the prime minister. It's for him to spend. That is his zone. And you must not benefit from that. And he must show you how cheap you get it. And that you don't deserve to get it cheap. So he going to charge you more. And y'all vote. And some of y'all vote for that. I'm sorry to laugh. But come on. Y'all serious? Rowley said, he said electricity in Trinidad and Tobago is still among the cheapest and is still a cheap product to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Rowley reiterated that TNTech was challenged to pay for the natural gas it receives from the natural gas company. Yes, it's challenged to pay because you don't pay, Ministry of Education don't pay, Ministry of Health owing, all the ministry buildings, education, come down the line, local government, social development, all your ministries, your Ministry of Finance owing TNTech. However, TNTech has to pay NGC. TNTech is Trinidad and Tobago. NGC is Trinidad and Tobago. NGC is utilizing gas that belongs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. TNTech is providing a service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And this classic pathological liar, all you vote for, called Keith Christopher Rowley, telling you that you must pay more for utilizing your gas that belongs to you and your children. I can't make up this, this pathological fool, this man who playing golf 40 years and still sucks. He's the worst golfer in the world. He just kick the own ball. He had the worst swing. He have no skill. He's a total idiot. The other day I trying to talk for me, such a bully, he can't turn around and throw back no talk. He's so dumb. Right? And you're afraid you're afraid this clown, this dotish clown who can't respect your own wife and horning without prophylactic and making twins, all you really afraid he for what? What he have? What he have? I really want to know. Rowley continued to know. TNTech owes billions of dollars for the gas that it burns to provide electricity. Rowley said the people needed to stop pretending that is not so. He added that if more had to be paid for electricity, stop pretending that the sky is falling on your head. No, the sky is falling on your head is he golf ball, because when he trying to hit straight, he does hit crooked. This arrogant fool is telling you that you all are complainers, you all are crybabies, You what are y'all complaining about? Your salaries can't buy nothing. His policies, food price inflation, medicine inflation, roads, pothole inflation and taxes because you have to buy more tires, more for your brakes, your shocks, everything that he does. You suffer. He take away gate. You have to pay more for your children education. No laptop, you have to buy it. And now he's telling you your gas that is part you own piece, that he find you bold-faced and crying that if he raise your electricity rates on top of property tax, on top of inflation, on top of no salary, on top of 4% only for 8 years, that you are a crybaby, and you all vote for this scum bucket, this useless human being. No joke. Forget party, forget PNM, forget anything. All you really vote for this abject total clown. He continued, Rowley said he would ask Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez to talk to TNTech and other utility companies to place the real cost and subsidized cost for providing the services to be placed on the customer's bill. He said that would allow people to see exactly what you were getting as against the old talk from people. This man is a maniac. He going to ask Marvin Gonzalez. Well, first of all, you have to tell Marvin, come out the bathroom with the man and them and start to focus on his work. First of all, you have to find him there. Stop measuring inseam with Ecliffe Eli. Then he is telling Marvin Gonzalez, the worst minister of public utilities, who is appointed by this fool, who said he appointed him because he wanted to find somebody who know nothing about WASA, know nothing about electric, know nothing. And he is instructing Marvin to put on your bill the cost of the electricity minus your gas that belong to you, because you elect he, and that is he gas. To do with it, he and Small Pin could go and do what they want with it, because he is the prime minister and he in charge, like a jumbie from Lake Koto. That's what the man telling y'all. And y'all voting for him to take all of your gas, your resources, your oil that's supposed to be for you and your children, and he could take it and go on the golf course and make decisions for his friends and financiers and have over 400 recusals in the cabinet. Really? What's so special about he? All you wouldn't even give God that kind of love and respect. All you taking at least $40,000 to $70,000 a year out of a middle class family of four to pay for this fool to be prime minister rather than Kamala? What do you have so much? Why you would pay? You wouldn't even pay $70,000 for Marshall to come and sing to all you every week. Home by you. You wouldn't pay $70,000 for Dwight York and them to come and coach your children to be great footballers to play for Manchester United and Liverpool. But you paying out of your pocket, $70,000 a year to have this clown with blue lights and special branch. Well, it have one special branch he vexed with, boy. Special branch sharing all in one Woodbrook Place. This one to be prime minister rather than Kamala. What do you think now? Forget politics. Forget either UNC, but just think about it. Think about your money. Your money is not red or yellow. Your money is blue notes, right? You paying $70,000 a year for this man. If you are a family of four, from no fuel subsidy, higher rates, more taxes, less gate, less school, more health, bus tire, all kind of taxes and pain this man brings to you, when Kamala provides you with smooth ability, utilize your resources for you. What's so special about he? I mean, all he ain't going on red couch. When we talking, as we say Marvin Gonzalez, usually member of parliament for Lopino, Bonnet West. They have a grounds on Cane Farm Day that is in Lopino, Bonnet West, that is so dilapidated and so run down that Lendell Simmons, our national hero, our national cricketer, where the pavilion was named after him, it's so bad he want to take his name off the pavilion. I can't make this up, Minister, man, come out the bathroom with the man and them and do your work, boy. Play Lendell Simmons.
become of your title being part of this facility?
Yeah, well, I would like my name to be removed from that. I don't want to be part of this if this is how they're going to keep the ground. Well, it's pretty disappointing after putting the grandstand in my name. For the past 10 years, it hasn't been upkept. The ground has deteriorated very vastly. And I must say, I reached out to the MP to get some help in upkeeping the ground for the cricketers, for the people who walk, for the people in the community. And nothing has been done for the past how many years? Well, I had a meeting with him before, and as recent, I asked for a meeting again to talk about the ground, seeing that cricket season's coming around. I had an appointment with him, but that didn't come true because I was there waiting and it came into no vein, so I just had to leave because my time was being wasted. Well, it's really disheartening to see. Last season we couldn't even have any home games because the ground wasn't upkept. And I grew up here. I learned my trade here, playing cricket here all my whole life. And now I can't even come in the nets and get a practice because it's not up to standard. And for players coming up, my young nephew Keegan, who plays for Trinidad, but now as he can't even come here and practice anymore because, as you can see, the ground is really bad. And people here who come and walk this savannah, it's be full on evenings. No one comes here again. Well, I really don't know what's the next step because, as I said, I reached out to the MP, the corporation don't upkeep the ground. The tractor doesn't come and cut here anymore. It's CPEP workers who be cutting the ground. As you can see, the ground is be cutting in patches. And they have some big holes in the ground, so you can't even run on the ground. You can't even play football. There's nothing being done with the savannah anymore. No one comes here, and it's very disheartening to see. A lot of youngsters used to come and play cricket, play football, even bare feet. You could see some activity going on. Now you can't see no activity going on in savannah.
Nothing has changed, no infrastructural development, no improvement in these facilities. What would become of your title being part of this facility?
Yeah, well, I would like my name to be removed from that. I don't want to be part of this if this is how they're going to keep the ground. People call me like I'm responsible for the ground. I'm not responsible for the ground. The corporation is, but if this is how they're going to keep the ground, I would no longer like my name on the grandstand.
I see we put the Alsing. It's not the Alsing, it's Marvin Gonzalez. The Alsing, you have your own issues with the school and the grounds all over St. Joseph. So we go deal with you next week. But this is Marvin Gonzalez. And Lendell Simmons met with you, Marvin Gonzalez. What you doing, boy? Why are you so busy? What you so busy doing? That the ground, imagine a man name on a pavilion and he's so shamed. $59 billion, $500 billion spent in 8 years, and this PNM cannot even maintain a ground. Far less for when Rowley shut down Petrotrin. Oh, he didn't shut it down. McKinsey report, Solomon report, everybody said don't shut it down. Rowley not only shut it down, and 11,000 workers, permanent and daily paid, lost jobs, and defense line communities and so on. What also happened, people of Trinidad and Tobago, your assets that belong to you and your children were left to rot by the PNM when they shut down Petrotrin, because a man tell Rowley, if I go down, you go down, we all go down. And it shut down. Look at some other assets of yours. This is how PNM keeps and respects your money. Run it.
Petrotrin Beach Camp Palace Echo. Yeah, take a good look at it. All the people them will like to and worship Rowley every morning. This is how all your government, how this place looking. Take a good look at it, the tennis court. Beach Camp Palace Echo. Oil money, what thing was supposed to belong to the citizens of people. Going down the drain, just to save the partner, and lying and say, oh, if Petrotrin continue, you go get no medicine in the hospital. You go get nothing in the road that go fix. Petrotrin going down in the hospital in shambles. The road is shit.
Petrotrin Forest Reserve swimming pool.
What the hell is this? Oh, it's like a sea turtle. Yeah, the condition of this water down. This is bush. I like to get put there this when we finish. I didn't even know it had a president house in the back here.
Those assets belong to you, eh? There are over 100 houses like that. That's the former president of the Petrotrin and so on. The pool, the sporting facilities, Guacara Park, everything has been allowed to rot under Rowley and the PNM. So if your asset base at Petrotrin with 12,000 acres and so on and buildings was worth $10 billion in 2015 under Kamla, it's now worth $1 billion or less because they've depreciated due to lack of care, lack of maintenance, lack of anything but Keith Christopher Rowley. This is not a joke. You will let your house, you pay a mortgage, you buy a house, you will just throw it away or property, just leave it like that. That is what Rowley thinks about your assets. They don't belong to him. They belong to you. And you all vote to say, hey boy, look Palo Seco, it's a cayman and monkey, hey boy, Rowley well done boy, look at all the buildings and so on, the facilities of Petrotrin and so on, hey, it gone through the bush, look at that, it mash up, hey boy, vote for Rowley. Look at the early childhood centers across the country that Tim Gopi Singh left, including schools and primary school, Ramai Trace into school and so on. Look at it, it's a bush and it mash up billions of dollars of hospital co. Let me vote for Rowley. Thank you, Rowley. You kept the Couva Hospital for my children closed with equipment, that the highest tech equipment in there, and you let it depreciate and lose value. Hey, let's vote for Rowley. Rowley, thanks. Really, my people? All you serious? But one thing I could tell all you, it's amazing, you know. Not only citizens across the board, not only the UNC opposition realize that PNM is a total disaster. If I tell you that a PNM councillor admitting and showing that the PNM government for 8 years and the PNM Corporation San Fernando for the last 9 years, and he is the PNM councillor, and he's showing you how incompetent, how much disrespect, how much inefficiency occurs in San Fernando. Would you say the douglAR lie? Well, let me show all you. Listen to this. When all you see this man in this video, stamp PNM on the back, you know, put him in red and take the golden pen and let him sign his name in Balize House. This is a PNM councillor, and they don't lie to all, you know. Run it.
I'm cameraman. We're in Blitz Village this morning. Good morning, we're in Blitz Village. I want to show you a secret. This drain, I've been begging to get this drain clean for the past 3.5, almost 4 years. December this year, December 2022, make it 4 years. I want to let you see what causes the flooding in Blitz. Take a look. See you down here? See my boots, water. See what's going on here? This is in the drain here. What's going on place? What's taking place here? See this? What's going on here? You have a forest in the drain here. What's going on here? You gotta drop. What's going on here? See what's going on there? You can't pass again. This is the furthest we could have gone. So guess what? We're going on the next side to see what's taking place. Right? Clearly, something is seriously wrong. But this is Blitz River, Blitz Drain, come from Kokie, pass through Blitz Village, Pleasantville, and out on the bypass. So you see why this area has been flooded out. Remember, 3.5 to 4 years we've been asking for this drain to be clean. San Fernando City Corporation, look what is going on. What's going on here? Because the mine fish in the drain. See what's going on here? Yeah, we have fishes here. Anybody want a fish? Yes. Some fishing. I don't even know how to see water there. So listen, sun hot. Sun is blazing hot right about now. And look what's going on here in this drain. Look at the seriousness. This is the other end of the same drain, right? I'm trying to walk, so bear with me. I want to fall along in this drain. And at least I hope not to fall. Neither my phone. This is what is going on here. Oh, can't dash in and all. This is the end of the drain. And let's see what's going on here. Take a good look. Same drain, different end. One end I could have climbed in. This is the other end of the drain. Yeah, take a good look. This is the level of madness. Wow. Now, when you have a situation like this, sun hot, and the drain is like this now, when it rains, what do you expect? The water not running, stagnant water, mosquitoes, then the water will rise. And when it rises at a certain point, it will go into the resident's home or the resident's yard. So these are the issues, these are the things that cause flooding, right? And for some reason, they are not being addressed. So guess what? I will keep these videos and pressure up every day till this.
That is a PNM councillor in the PNM San Fernando Corporation that have a PNM Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, of the PNM Cabinet, of the PNM Prime Minister, with the PNM resources, who do a video to show exactly the incompetence of him as a PNM councillor, the incompetence of the PNM Corporation, with the PNM Mayor, with the PNM Minister of Local Government, Faris Al-Rawi Al-Akiatsut, with the PNM Prime Minister, the PNM Central Government. That is a PNM. And some of y'all vote for that. The man so clueless. The man don't understand. Well, boss, resign. Join the UNC, get a UNC mayor, get a UNC corporation, vote UNC for UNC local government minister, vote UNC for Kamala, vote UNC for cabinet who would deal with all of them things. And the man like he proud and he calling his own party madness. Yes, it's madness. PNM is madness. You are part of the madness. You mad to be so stupid to show that the party that you supporting, that you signed with a golden pen, you now went and campaign under PNM to do that, and you showing the whole world what is PNM. Rohan, what say you? Kazim, what say you? Hey, Faris, what say you? Rowley, they not Anil. They're not a UNC. That is a PNM showing PNM incompetence. All you need any more convincing? Well, Marvin Gonzalez, you lie. Marvin Gonzalez, come and tell the country nothing wrong with TSTT. No data was taken away. Look at him. Nothing happened. No cyber attack. No risk. Nothing. But then TSTT, come and tell Marvin, hold up Marvin. Yeah boy, some men we get catch. But here Marvin now, here Marvin, Minister of Man, signing up in inseam with Eclipse Eli. Here he now. And Marvin, when I finish read what you say, I have to ask you some questions, Marvo. Yesterday, Minister of Man, Marvin Gonzalez said, TSTT downplayed the matter to him. TSTT, which falls under his portfolio, TSTT, which has a PNM board, TSTT, which appointed Lisa Agard as CEO, TSTT, that have Kamal Georges with a big work day, TSTT, PNM, Marvin Gonzalez says that TSTT downplayed the issue to him. Now, what is downplaying the issue? At that point, when I issued the statement, that was what was told to me. I had no choice but to accept what the board and management told me. He explained that as the matter unfolded in the public domain and experts were weighing in on the subject matter, he called Chairman Sean Roach, PNM, for a detailed report. I sent him back to the company's management to get a better picture of what was unfolding, and they then admitted there was a breach, so they issued another statement. Okay, Marvin Gonzalez, so you took information from your PNM board and you went to the parliament and misled the parliament because TSTT misled you. Lying to a minister is a very serious offense. So you have admitted that the board of TSTT lied to you and that the management of TSTT lied to the board that misled you and the cabinet and the government. Okay, put back Marvin. So who's fired, Marvin? Who's fired? You just admitted that the board of TSTT lied to the line minister. There is no offense more egregious. Marvin, who's fired? Which board? The chairman? All the members? Who has to resign or be fired? And the management, the board? Who lied to the board? Who lied to you? Because all you lied to the population. This is a very serious thing because people's information and data was out there, and the government, the PNM government, and you representing Keith Rowley's cabinet and the PNM government, you lied to the parliament and you lied to the population. Don't come and tell me you lied because them lied to you. All you have to resign, Marvin, but first, your whole board had to be fired. You're not firing them, Marvin. I thought they lied to you. Unless you lying about them lying to you. You see? Because if you are a serious minister and people come to you and give you false information, embarrass you, embarrass your government, embarrass the Trinidad and Tobago, and put people's information at risk to fraudsters, and you can't do nothing, then what are you there for? You are useless. You're a mama pool. So, Minister of Man, what's the truth? Is it you who lied and started the lies among the lies with the PNM board and the PNM management? Or is it that they lied to you? Because if they lied to you, them should have been fired already. So I'm not believing you, Minister of Man. You understand? Just like when you was doing a function and you see the wrong man driving the van. TSTT says, sorry, leave it there. No? Here, TSTT. Be vigilant and alert to potential scams and fraudulent activity. This from TSTT. That lie and say there was no cyber attack, then they say there was a cyber attack, but they ain't get nothing. Then they come and say, yeah boy, they get all your information. But it's not so important information, just your name, your address, whether you just pay card or cash, what your number is, where you're going, just that, eh? But then TSTT who lied to all you, and all your information gone from their weakness, them telling you, be vigilant. In this country, you have to laugh, you know. That's the advice from the Telecommunication Services of Trinidad and Tobago to its customers yesterday, as it admitted that a cyber attack on its system took place. In an initial media release issued on October 30th, the company had confirmed it was the victim of a cyber attack, but said there was no loss or compromise of customer data. Franco meant lie. In the media release issued yesterday, the company admitted that information such as customers' names, home address, email address, and identification cards are among the information leaked and accessible to anyone. Now comes the editorial of the Express newspaper. Let's hear what's Express opinion on this PNM fiasco. TSTT's public relations sins. Or it's just public relations sins? Not lies that put people at risk. In the EU, if you don't report cyber attacks like that, within 79 hours, you get fines of hundreds of thousands of euros. The public relations response by Telecommunication Services of Trinidad and Tobago, TSTT, to a cyber attack on October 9th may well have done more harm to the company's brand than the attack itself. The rot started from the head when Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez told the Parliament last Wednesday that citizens' data was not compromised. After this turned out to be untrue, Mr. Gonzalez told the Express that he was only repeating what TSTT told him. But TSTT later stated that a breach had occurred and some customer information had been hacked. So if the minister is to be believed, the company did so without giving him the opportunity to correct his parliamentary statement beforehand. The second problem was that TSTT itself only changed its statement after being forced to do so by IT experts who found customer information on the dark web. The company adopted the approach of trying to minimize the attack. This was nothing less than playing smart with stupidness, since the wording suggests that TSTT executives knew data had been stolen, but redefined compromised in an attempt to provide empty assurances to the public. TSTT then added insult to injury by later stating that less than 1% of customers' personal information had been published in an irrelevant statistic. That is TSTT and PNM Marvin Gonzalez, Lisa Agard. Kamal Georges, what say you? Does this fall under your big portfolio, your wide portfolio? How much you getting paid? Where they advertise your position? Who interview you? How you getting work? Yeah? How you get it? You get it on your knees or you get it lying down horizontal? How you get that work? What's your qualification? Kamal? In public relations, companies, this is the Express editorial, companies typically make 5 major errors: not being transparent, delayed crisis management, inconsistent messaging, ignoring social media, and overlooking stakeholder concerns. In the space of 3 days, TSTT managed to commit all of these PR sins, and nobody fired Express. This man had to resign. He say the board of TSTT lied to he. Them may get fired. Lisa Agard still have work, draws in a pay. 740 workers gone. Kamal get work. It's all okay because it's PNM. This is all okay. This is all acceptable. UE lecturers withhold exam papers. Imagine now, at UE and all in this country, the professors and so on, again pay properly, they're offering them 2%. And now children, students have to suffer because they study hard and they do their papers, they're waiting anxiously for results. But they ain't getting no results because the professors are getting no money. They're getting 2%. From 2014 to 2017, well, they're taking the guidelines from the PNM Minister of Finance, called me about 4%, nothing for all you. Right? 4% is indecent. But this is what the PNM does. Divide and rule, from decimation of the OWTU with Petrotrin to all the unions. Labor is now at its weakest because Rowley and this Duen have silenced labor by battering the strongest union in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, the OWTU, with mamagizam about patriotic energy and shutdown of Petrotrin. Ministry puts spotlight on poverty eradication. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services recently commemorated the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. Really? The eradication of poverty? But under this call, remember this Duen and Rowley, poverty has increased. So there's a proliferation of poverty in Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM is in charge of the exacerbation of poverty, not the eradication. When they came into power, Kamala Prasad Bisesa had the poverty rate at 16.7%, down from 20.2% under Patrick Mervyn Augustus Manning. Within 2 years, by 2017-2018, Rowley's policies of wean you off the government, lack of jobs, lack of investment, lack of support, lack of education, lack of investment, lack of school feeding, lack of MIC, COSTAT, UTT, lack of policies to uplift people. The poverty rate shot up from 16.7% to 22.8% under Rowley. Then by 2020 into 2022 with COVID, that went up to 31% of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago living below the poverty line, and them celebrating poverty eradication. It is poverty proliferation under the PNM, poverty exacerbation under the PNM, and those figures do not include, out of the 150,000 migrants from Venezuela, some of them suffering so bad they're going back by Maduro to suffer more. Calm, Mom on Nikwan, I know my place. Probably Duende. Calm say he know he place. When Calm take himself out of a situation, you know it's bubble, corruption, mismanagement. Calm say not me. All you better ask Small Pin. I might be short, but he pin small. Ask he. Here Coleman, but Finance Minister Coleman but declined to comment on Nikwan, the embattled energy company. Asked about the government's preference shares in the company and the effect it would have on local financial institutions if the company were to file for bankruptcy, Imbut said, I know my place. I will stay in my section. I suggest you pose that question to the Minister of Energy, Coleman Butt. You and all, the rats diving off the ship. Actually run it and remind them how much corruption in Nikwan. I ain't going to tell only the whole story, but a little piece, run it. World GTL and Nikwan, well, boy, I don't have no time now. World GTL, Malcolm Jones, the lawyer, is the Honorable Stuart Young. Let me just put a small pin right here to say that Nikwan fiasco is the most corruption in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And PNM should never be talking. And it now embroils one of the greatest banks in the history of the Caribbean. It now involves Republic Bank because 100 and somehow Nikwan, however you want to pronounce it, was able to get $120 million US loan on assets that were questionable. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are now holding the PNM bag because ministerial gas went to it. The assets were sold to Nikwan for 10 million US cash and 25 million in preference shares. Well, we prefer not to have the shares because the shares are worth nothing. That is PNM, and them have the audacity to come and talk about corruption with a road that exists, that a road that people could drive on, that people could move and reach. That is PNM. And him but say not me, I not in that. Ask Small Pin, ask Stuart Young. That is when you know PNM rats running for shelter. And as we talk about rats, look at Newsday. Ken Julian, PNM Prime Minister Rowley, PNM President Kangaloo, PNM UTT man, this one Uncle Clement Imbe, Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago recipient. Only PNM does get PNM to give PNM and PNM. So, naming a hall and thing, a building after Ken Julian. And this Newsday, this entire editorial is how great thou art, Ken Julian. Over since 1963 with Dr. Williams, what you did and so on. Now there is some truth. Ken Julian was very intelligent. His children, Stephen Julian and Philip Julian, went to UE school with my brothers and myself, and they never got any B's. They were very bright. We used to battle with them right through into Fatima. Stephen Julian is somewhere in Atlanta with hundreds of millions of dollars. Me, I know how we get our day. Philip Julian is still down here with Heroes Foundation and getting our MOUs for new energy projects and so on. So the czars continue. So Ken Julian understood and did make decisions about the flaring of gas and so on, which was very good. And had some input in point leases, which some of it turned out good, and PNM then collapsed it. But this is an editorial. Shouldn't the editorial talk the truth? They mentioned nothing about ISPAT, about Severn Trent, about Chatham, about TGU, about Bamboo Networks, about the UTT building and the corruption that went up from 300 million to 1.7 billion. They don't talk about anything about Ken Julian here. All of this, if you read this, you should just build a church for Ken Julian, and all of we should go and worship he with the old 91-year-old self. Just remember Newsday, when you print this filth and you don't print the truth, that's why your sales go down. So let me just remind all you a little bit about Ken Julian now. Doubles and coffee. PNM and the PNM mass media portray and put forward and normalize corruption in your face with a PNM Prime Minister, a PNM President, a PNM uncle of the Minister of Finance, standing in front of a PNM edifice of corruption and giving accolades to a man who has overseen more allegations and wastage of billions of dollars of taxpayers' money than any other human being since the early 1970s to present, Professor Ken Julian. And the PNM portrays that, and the media portrays it and pretends they don't know. You just saw and heard a press conference on the Nikwan fiasco, which is World GTL, which has cost this country over a total of $5 billion wasted flushed down the toilet. You know who introduced Malcolm Jones, the then PNM executive chairman of Petrotrin, to World GTL and the concept of gas to liquids? Professor Ken Julian. You know who's Professor Ken Julian? Severn Trent. You know who's Professor Ken Julian? TGU and Chatham smelter plant. You know who's Professor Ken Julian? UTT campus building increased from 400 million to 1.8 billion. You know who's Professor Ken Julian? Bamboo Networks. $31 million of taxpayers' money flushed down the toilet by arrogance and power. He was so powerful as a PNM czar that when a minister, PNM minister in the Ministry of Finance, Christine Sahadio, heard and saw that he was going to invest in some fly-by-night company called Bamboo Networks, her ministry officials went and did a due diligence, wrote him a detailed 26-page letter showing that this company does not qualify for the investment of taxpayer dollars. Professor Ken Julian went on to ignore the instruction of a minister in the Ministry of Finance of the government, invested or took or put $31 million of your money into Bamboo Networks, and it disappeared for nothing, not a cent, no benefit whatsoever, just flitted away to some unknown people. Where it is, nobody knows. And you know what PNM Keith Christopher Rowley did, along with Faris Al-Rawi, the Attorney General, and Stuart Smallpin-Young, the former attorney of Malcolm Jones? They took Ken Julian out of court when Kamala Prasad-Bissessa and Anand Ramlogan were going to try and recoup your money, your 31 million. And now you have to sit down on the front pages and see PNM Rowley, PNM Kangaloo, PNM Clement Imber, and PNM Ken Julian stand up there with an order of merit, 2 orders of merit of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago given out by PNM, to stand on the front pages and give him a claim as if he's some hero. The PNM turns corrupt people into heroes. TGU was a take-or-pay contract. Who negotiated that? Who signed that? Who created that without a smelter even being built? And $150 million had to be paid before the plant was even constructed. And since then, take or pay, billions of dollars. And now your T&Tech rates going up. Your WASA rates to go up. All of this is the pause of Ken Julian, and you and the PNM standing up there in front of our country, in front of our children, and lauding this man from Severn Trent to steel plant, to Chatham Smelter Plant, to TGU, to Bamboo Networks, to World GTL, to Nikwan, Ken Julian, and that's the PNM, and you all accept that. What you want me to say? PNM could thief? Well, let them thief. Let them thief the soul of the nation, because it's just holding on by a thread. And Newsday writes a whole editorial and eliminates all of that and just presents Ken Julian as if he is some saint sitting at the right side of the Father. That is the problem in Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM controls everything. The PNM mass media is disgusting and lies to you and tells you that this is PNM country. Well, look, PNM country. Jamaica don't want nothing to do with PNM. Jamaica suspends TNT dollar from the exchange. And when the Guardian was seeking clarification from the central bank and TNT Guardian media, they asked questions like, was the suspension of the exchange of TNT banknotes done at the request of the central bank? Was this done after consultation with the central bank? Does the central bank know why this arrangement was suspended by the BOJ? When was this arrangement put in place? Is there similar arrangement in place with any other country? There was no response to those questions by the newspaper's deadline because Central Bank Governor Alvin Hilaire owes his job to call member who fired Jawala Rambaran, who was trying to tell you all that the PNM and the policies of the PNM to give your foreign exchange to those big financiers in the hundreds of millions of US was going to cause great risk and harm to our economy. Jawala Rambaran predicted it. The PNM rewarded him by firing him. He's gone to court and he has beat the PNM and they owe him 7.5 million. But you know who benefited? This clown called Alvin Hilaire, where they have a bucket waiting for he somewhere in Golden Grove. He is Innisgate neighbor of Keith Christopher Rowley, along with Newman George and Gilbert Peterson and Ingrid Lashley, all of the PNM czars in Innisgate under Warner Construction. They buy them thing, and Rowley did not even declare the benefit of 468,000. This is Rowley neighbor, so he wouldn't answer questions. But under Jamaica, them don't want nothing to do with TT because of PNM. Local businesses seeking to get US dollars from the Jamaican banking system using the TNT dollar may no longer be able to do so. So said economist Valmiki Arjun as he responded to the decision by the Bank of Jamaica to temporarily suspend the acceptance of TT currency from tomorrow. It will put a serious dent for those TNT economic agents who try to access US dollars from the Jamaican banking system using the TT dollar in similar ways to what has occurred in Guyana. Indeed, several business entities have made attempts to supplement the shortfall they face when accessing US dollars from the local banks by attempting to source them not only through the black market but also from other banks in the region, including in Jamaica. This move by the BOJ will, however, stymie such a practice in Jamaica, but can thereafter help to compound the black market sales of the US dollar, Arjun explained. He also noted the move showed waning confidence in the TT dollar in Jamaica. Imagine Jamaica have to protect themselves from Trinis going to hoard and try to get US dollars that they cannot get here because of the policies of the PNM, the shutdown of Petrotrin, the lack of investment, no foreign direct investment, the poor negotiation at the Ministry of Energy with the upstreamers that caused the shutdown of 11 companies in Point Lisas, the lack of tourist industry, the lack of investment, the lack of availability, the lack of supply of US dollars here. Jamaica had to protect itself from our businesses. And Rowley and Coleman but tell you, great is the PNM. The problem, it's really a demand problem. It's not. It's a supply side issue. And the PNM has shrunk the supply of US dollars through their injudicious, insane poor decisions that have shrunk the economy. We are in a complete mess. The world is laughing at us where we used the gallery. And imagine that man Rowley has the audacity to poke fun at Guyana when he has turned Trinidad and Tobago into the laughing stock of the Caribbean. And some of you all vote for that. What you want me to say? Miss West, she opens her mouth and squeak out, no corruption in the 55 million rental. And then she went to attack Afra Raymond figures and so on and so forth. But Miss West, the corruption is not in the calculation. The corruption is in the lack of process, the rush to sign a lease by your government, the lack of ensuring that the building was fit for purpose, the rush to sign lease to pay rent. That's the corruption, because had the proper process and due diligence been done, had the security experts been consulted in conjunction with the DPP without a rush to lease, to rent, to pay, then that money would not have been wasted. That's where the corruption is. So don't come and give a calculation. Now that is Alison Lewis. Is our next one, West. Yes, you know, she's a non-entity. You wouldn't even have a picture of she, right? But Afra Raymond come and dealt with West, because West come and say that Afra Raymond calculation is wrong. But Afra Raymond said, my calculation, if it's wrong, then Rowley lie, because Afra Raymond got his information straight from the mouth of the Prime Minister, Keith Christopher Rowley. He says, as I indicated in a previous letter, my figures were drawn from both the Prime Minister's public statements and the immediately subsequent Express article. The Prime Minister emphatically stated the monthly rent was 600,000. West come to say, no, it's 500,000. Well, talk that with Rowley. It's Rowley, your Prime Minister, who said 600,000. At the post-cabinet conference on Thursday, March 23rd, 2023, at 6:09 p.m., and the 23,000 square foot March 11, 2023, 40 million rent spent on new DPP office. That was local news, TrinidadExpress.com. But I have not been able to establish any other source of that citation. Minister West gave no citations in support of her claims. So Minister West come to say, Afra Raymond figures wrong, it had no corruption, this is the real figure. No. Say where the show what figures, show that Rowley lie. Right? Because Rowley was trying to lie, to try and exaggerate, to throw it on the DPP. But it's nothing to do with the DPP. It's the PNM minister, the PNM Minister of Public Administration, the PNM cabinet that went and sourced a building, negotiated a rent, signed a lease without doing due diligence, without making sure that it's fit for purpose. And then after signing and having to pay rent, had to find out that it is not good, it's not secure, it does not fit the requirements for a DPP office, when DPP lawyers have to deal with some of the worst monsters, the murderers, that the PNM has increased the number of them across this country. Them have gone more than dynamite. Minister West gave no citations. Afra Raymond said, I gave my citations. So given that the MPA is relying, the Minister of Public Administration is relying upon the lease and valuation report for this property to challenge my citations, those documents should be published now to show us their workings, because gone are the days that we are the people believe because the minister say. Because as you see, Rowley lie, Marvin Gonzalez lie, Imbut lie, Small Pin lie, PNM does lie, Sinanan lie, all of them does lie. The Attorney General told the Standing Finance Committee of Parliament on October 19, 2023, that the public money spent on that property was 55,551,000. He said that at 4:49 and 45 seconds p.m. Given the understandable and widespread public concerns arising from the large-scale expenditure, it would be an important step towards transparency for the Minister of Public Administration to issue details. For example, the 500,000 monthly rent stated by Minister West would amount to 19.0 million over the 3 years and 2 months that the property was leased. The cost of the improvements and modification has repeatedly been stated at 24 million. The total of those two figures is only 43 million, 12 million short. So Afro Raymond is asking, so you have certain concerns. I am sure that a statement clarifying those details can be issued. You see the maths not mathsing. Then we go from the sublime to the ridiculous. Fitzgerald et Talbot, Pomsite, Rasta, body bag, ride on a horse with a little boy hugging him up in the saddle and gyrating on his behind. This one, this clung. Listen to this. I've never seen, imagine his own express. The express who have the PNM there. Here it is. If I was Fitzgerald, I would have taken a boat maybe or air guard flight, even though there are no plane with radar, and go as far away from Trinidad and Tobago and hide my face. Here the express, the absurdity of Mr. Hines' call. The National Security Minister's astonishing response to public disclosure of the wastage is that it had absolutely nothing to do with any minister of government per se. We disagree and consider Minister Hines' habitual, it wasn't me response, to be woefully inadequate. The buck must stop somewhere, and in this instance, it stops on the desk of Minister Hines, who was all too pleased to pose with the 20 wooden ladders, the Ben Woodner, he liked that, for a March 2022 photo op. It touches on absurdity for Mr. Hines to call for a thorough investigation because, as line minister for the fire service, on which public safety so heavily depends, it was for him to set in motion that investigation. And on top of that, Rowley now realized crime serious and he fed up. Never mind he gone Dubai and he not even attending his own crime talks that he put Kangaloo set up to talk like, hey, the opposition must help, even though the PNM in charge, the PNM is the government, the PNM have all the money, the PNM could tax it, the PNM could allocate resources, the PNM in charge of safety and security, and put this man, the horse riding with little boys, this Fitzgerald at Albert Hines. So Rowley went, I think you have a picture, Rowley went on a vessel to say he patrol. He went and do a PR, a photo up on a vessel, the Scarborough. I don't know if we have it, but it's not his phone. Oh, you have it? Look him there, man. He spent the night, yes, in the same tracksuit like he was talking in Canada there. And then Fitzgerald at Albert Hines posed with some Air Guard. Air Guard have no pilot. 23 pilots resigned from Air Guard in the last 2 years. They have planes with no radar. They're supposed to get new radar. They ain't buying none. But they're going to take picture in serious issues when people dying all across the place. But check, Rowley went there, right? To let you all feel the borders are patrolled, that there are vessels working, and you are safe. Guns can't come in. Nothing. That's Rowley end. Look what happened the day after. Run it with that. And you people have to understand, the Prime Minister is in charge. Rowley is in charge of all your money, all the resources, all the ability to keep you safe. And he is failing. Failing. Rowley is a failure. Yeah, big man. What happening? Oh, yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy, douglAR. Where is it, boy?
Good. Blessings.
Tell Rowley all the money.
Hey, and yes, well, all right, my brother. All you tell him. And you could see the people just fed up around it. You understand? That doubles and coffee nearly get R-rated there. But on top of that, Attorney General Limo is writing to Kamala Prasad Bisesa after President PNM Kangaloo start to inject on the instruction of Rowley, create a talk that the opposition need to go in Parliament and support legislation. That's what's stymieing PNM's crime fight. Never mind, they have every law on the books known to man to fight crime. But every time PNM come in, criminal activity goes up. The minister is a total, complete failure. Smallpin was worse. Smallpin smiling because Hines worse than Smallpin. And Rowley says, Keith Rowley tells you the population. Blood flowing, murders. He say fed up. The murders are terrible. Guns, bullet, car, men jumping out of car and killing man with 70 bullet and thing in the road, hot sun, nighttime, people not safe anywhere, home invasions, rape, robbery, 92-year-old getting tied up. Rowley says crime is serious. And then he say he not going in no meeting. He's sending a man who lie in a foreign jurisdiction in Miami in a court, the perjurer. The man who couldn't find a file that wasn't missing. The man who didn't even put in a defense in a case. That Attorney General lie more. So imagine Keith Rowley, the Prime Minister who's in charge of the country, whose job it is, as he said, if a government cannot keep you safe, then they are part of the problem. He tell all your citizens, he not going in no meeting. I not lying to you all, I not making this up on Rowley. Lie more. That Attorney General wrote to Kamla Prasad-Biswas and said, name your talk nominees, right? I take this opportunity to remind you, said Lymore, of the government's steadfast commitment to the safety and security of our nation's citizens. The steadfast commitment, but Rowley ain't going in no meeting. One of these things just doesn't belong there. The importance of constructive bipartisan dialogue. The AG's letter clearly suggests the government is sticking to its position that the bipartisan team should only consist of parliamentarians. So no Gary Griffith. That's their serious talks. Parliamentarians have different skills and capacities. Security, especially security of the population, requires all sorts of skills, different. Parliamentarians are not the be-all and end-all. Some are lawyers, some are doctors, some are teachers, some are businessmen, some are coaches, some are philosophers, some different things. You may have one or two in security. So why is it PNM, if they want crucial talks to keep you safe, to keep the bandits from killing you and shooting you and robbing you and carjacking you and raping your daughter and your wives and so on? Why this instruction that only parliamentarians? Because this is a game. Don't want Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith is a security expert. They have other experts. Why are not the best experts being called in order to bring safety and security to Trinidad and Tobago? Why? Because it's mamagism. It's a set of little boy games, a set of puerile childish stupidity from these clowns. He then also, the Attorney General continued, the Prime Minister will not accede to the opposition leader's request to reconsider his refusal to attend the crime talks. Well, I put it to you, that if Rowley don't go, there's no crime talks. What say you Express? What say you Guardian? What say you Newsday? What say you Jason PNM Morning Brew? What say you radio station talk shows host? What say you Mr. Robert Amar? What say you Dumas? What say you Kirkwaite? What say you Transparency International? The Prime Minister is refusing to go to his own crime talks. Who is irresponsible? Who is lacking care? Who is the one playing games? Who is putting politics ahead of the safety and security of our citizens? Who? This ballhead, dotish, pathological game playing, lying one who is only interested in recusals. How can it be that you all accept, you all create the concept that the opposition in Westminster system, opposition cannot even buy a piece of paper. Opposition has no power to do nothing. And you all somehow create the concept that the opposition must come. And Rowley, remember the editorial newspaper said, Rowley sets out Olive Branch. Rowley invites Kamla, even though Kamla was begging for meeting. Kamla was trying to debate crime. Kamla offered solutions. Kamla talked about security dome. This fool was laughing about security carpenter, security dome carpenter, security dome builders and so on. Remember that? And you all allow Rowley to play games. What say you, citizens of the Republic, that the Prime Minister, let me quote from the lying one, Mr. Note Taker. Let me quote from his letter to the leader of the opposition. The Prime Minister will not accede to the opposition leader's request to reconsider his refusal to attend the crime talks. So Rowley is refusing to attend the crime talks that he said that he created and asked. And y'all accept that. And y'all don't tell that man come out of the office, he wasting flipping time. I not even going on no more, Archie. Actually, I just done it. So Rowley say he ain't going in no crime talks, but he's the prime minister who's overseeing the bloodiest, deadliest time in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. 614 murders last year, heading for the same thing this year. Over 4,300 people dead. Home invasions, murder, killing, broad daylight across the board, carjacking, robbery, larceny. People not safe anywhere. And this clown gone to spend your US dollars per diem in Dubai and says he refused to go to crime talks that he said and his president created. All you take that and vote for that fool. Good night.